while we were walking along the streets, were there any other things that you found are different now than maybe 4 years ago or so?
Yes, what I noticed are that there are many bicycles now.
Bicycles for rent,
and bicycle renting stations. But not only that, they also have bicycle tracks on many roads now, and that is new.
The bicycle lane, yeah.
Bicycle lane, because 4 years ago there were a few cyclists, and I always thought,
It's
suicidal,
dangerous.
so dangerous. It's still a bit dangerous, I suppose, but I think it's again, a great development that the city is adapting to the need or the wish to accommodate cyclists. And if I just, in Germany, things like that are discussed for years and years and years, and then they have a decision, and then they have a counter motion. And here it happens very fast and very sort of to the point. Very good.
Very convenient.
Very convenient for the citizens, yes, and of course it improves, health conditions and it saves pollution. So
many people do their daily workout on the bicycle. They rent it near their house, and then they go to Hangang, to the river, and just they cycle for an hour or something, and then
very
they come
healthy,
back.
very good.
Many of my friends do it that way too.
Very good.
So how about when you just walk down the street and you look at the different buildings all around you? Feel anything different from 4 years ago?
I'm not so sure really. There's still very much building activity, which is and it's quite fascinating. But what I've seen on photographs, and this is where I want to go and what I want to see, is that there are many either older buildings which are restored now, but also a combination of very old buildings next to very new buildings. Like for instance, that was not in the street, but in this botanical garden, they have a very traditional house, and then sort of next to it there is this big, very modern exhibition hall. And I think for me, this symbolizes something about Korean architecture, which I have noticed all the time. A combination of very old and very traditional and very new. So this is something I definitely want to look at.
So rather than so many changes from 4 years ago, it's still the same
novelty,
the novelty or the same aspect of the Korean architecture that you like the mixture of old and new, modern and tradition.
Yes.
I see. That's nice. So I think now I'm getting kind of hungry. It's getting a bit late. So should we go have our dinner now?
Great idea. Let's do that.
Go.
How do you find the taxi?
Lovely and comfy.
It's
More like an executive limousine.
Yes.
I suppose you don't really drive around the streets of Seoul much, do you? Always on the subway or walking.
Bus occasionally.
Do you notice much difference from sort of year to year?
When I went to the airport, I noticed it become much more automated and lots of technology and touch screens to find out information,
right.
Things like that.
Which is good, but that can also be very insular as well, can't it? Which some people find difficult. Some people like contact with other human beings.
You need to read the article I gave to Alex to read about the future where humans are replaced by AI.
It's probably already happening. There's the tower.
Second Lotte Tower.
Oh gosh, yeah. Wow, have you been out?
I haven't, no.
What's up there? Just a restaurant or something, or?
There's an observation deck with a glass floor.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Look out, see the blue sky with nice clouds. A bit rare to see this kind of sky, I think.
I can't believe it's so clear. Yeah.
How long is it since you were last here?
Just over 4 years.
Did you miss coming back here?
Yeah, I needed clothes. I needed to go shopping.
It's like your 20th trip, do you think?
I would think so.
I guess this is probably the biggest gap between trips.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, have you noticed much that's changed in 4 years? From the moment you arrived at the airport and then wandering around these past few days, what?
Oh, well, it's obviously quieter. I think the airport was quieter, but not that it's manic there anyway. But it was, immigration was a lot quieter.
Really deserted compared with normally. I mean, to go through the foreigners section of passport control, there was absolutely no queue whatsoever. And it's, from landing to being out of the building was just over half an hour, I think.
So all your favourite places?
Yeah, we go there. Oh no, we won't. It's gone. But what really impressed me was when we first went to use the subway, and not having used our subway tickets for 4 years, and we checked, we still had 15,001 on them when they worked, and nothing had changed. Everything seems to work still anyway.
I think the other big difference I've noticed walking around is there aren't anywhere near as many foreigners in town as there used to be.
Oh yes,
But
it's almost akin to when we first started coming.
If you think back to 4 years ago when you were last here, what's the kind of most striking memory you have of back then?
I think 4 years ago it always seemed to be very busy wherever you went outside at any time of the day. Well, this week it hasn't been that busy, but that could be because of the weather's so warm and humid as well. So.
I think we've only been at this time of the year to see you once before. I guess, when we came before it was spring, so it was quite colourful with blossom. Obviously we don't have that now, although hibiscus are pretty.
One of the things I did notice yesterday walking around the shopping mall was that I've commented to Barbara that a lot of the young ladies seem to be very tall, i.e. my height now, rather than, not necessarily from 4 years ago, but when we first arrived, considerably noticed that most people were
It's because we're getting
small.
older and shrinking, I think that's probably what it is.
I'd say before it was noticeable that males were taller, but I did notice lots of young ladies yesterday fairly tall.
Very beautiful, very.
Like when you were planning for this trip, what were you anticipating when you came here? Like what were you looking forward to?
I'm seeing you. Oh yes, and eat authentic Korean food, because if you go to a Korean restaurant in the UK, I think to Western taste, UK taste. So yeah.
I've enjoyed all the Korean meals we've had out so far, and I look forward to having some more.
Saying about, have you noticed any changes in technology? For example, in the airport nowadays they have robot assistants that you can ask questions to.
I think the big thing technology-wise was we were able to download an electronic SIM to our phones.
Oh yeah.
Without having to physically change them.
Get your
I've never
needle
heard of that before.
So that's very impressive. You can use your phone on the subway.
On the London Underground, it's very hit and miss whether your mobile
And
signal
certainly not between stations.
And
And the speed is obviously so much quicker.
The other thing I noticed on the Underground was now the electronic indicators on the train will now tell you where the nearest exit is as you get off. With your coach, the stairs or lifts or escalators are to the right, or
Also tell you that on your subway app when you free getting off, you should get on the subway at this carriage.
Except I haven't managed to find that app yet.
Do they have aircon on the Underground in London?
No.
Not. I don't know about the new line.
Elizabeth line, maybe. Generally speaking, the only air conditioning is the warm air coming through the windows.
How do you find the Underground here, the subway here?
Lovely. And it's for somebody who is more or less illiterate. Well, I am illiterate in Korean, aren't I? Sadly, to my shame. But it's easy to find your way around, and fortunately, being a native English speaker, things are in English as well as, I'm not quite sure how I would manage if I were French or German.
The other thing I've noticed on technology is my Twitter feed. I'm still getting all the promoted adverts from the UK, but I'm getting far more in Korean. Every third post is a Korean advert.
Moving, isn't it? Reinventing itself.